Cindy from Stamped with Aloha. Today I'm going to teach you how to create a card using the So Refreshing bundle by Stampin' Up. This card was a part of a cookie and card collaboration with Cindy Antai of Zoe, Hawaii, and was a part of a recent fundraiser for the Make Lemonade project. So let's go ahead and get started on our project today. So the first thing that we're going to need is a basic white cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5 inches. I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. I'm going to use my bone folder. And now we have a nice clean fold. Now we're ready for the next layer. So for that, I've die cut a piece of cardstock that was 4 1/4 by 5.5. I die cut it using the scallop contour dies. This is the largest die that comes in the scallop contour dies. Let me show you what it looks like. Now, sometimes when you're die cutting pieces, you can see some of these little pieces fell out, but I still have some pieces in there like that. This one is pretty easy to poke out, but you can also just take this little brush tool that you can add to your take your pick tool, and then you can just roll it on there, and that will just pop them out really easily like that. Okay, so just a little tip. Actually, it is a little tip. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take this piece that we die cut lemon lolly cardstock with the scallop contour die, and we're gonna place it into this embossing folder. Now this is a 3D hybrid embossing folder, and we're gonna place this in here and we're gonna emboss the front of this. Okay, once you've run it through the embossing machine, you can open this up and pop this out, and it's gonna look like that with all these beautiful lemons on there. Okay, so now it's been embossed, and so we're gonna turn it over. We're gonna use our multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm just gonna add glue to the back, and then I'm going to adhere this to the front of the card, and that will create a very beautiful embossed lemon background. Now we are ready for our focal point. So we need a base for that as well. So I have a 2.5 by 3.5 piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm gonna get out my piercing mat here, and we're going to do some stamping. So from the So Refreshing stamp set, I'm gonna begin with the time spent together is the sweetest. And we're gonna go ahead and stamp that using some basic gray ink. Okay, so here's my words. I'm gonna ink them up, and I'm gonna stamp this in the right corner of the top of this card. Okay, then I'm gonna take this and turn it over. I'm gonna put adhesive on the back, and I'm going to mount this to a basic gray cardstock that is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 inches. And so now we have a background that is going to support all the die cut pieces that we're gonna die cut from the stamp set. For the next step, we're gonna stamp several of the images from the stamp set. Now, typically on a card like this, I would take one of the images, like the picture here, I would stamp it. Then I would take the second stamp, because this is two-step stamping. I would ink it up, I would line it up and stamp it, and you would have a completed image. Then what you would do is take one of the coordinating dies, you would line it up over the top like this, you would send it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and you would end up with a stamped lemonade picture like this. Okay, so, but for this particular card today, I'm gonna show you another way that you can do it. So what I've done is I've already die cut the picture. I've die cut it just using white cardstock without stamping on it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and two-step stamp each one of these pieces after they've been die cut. So I just found that for me, this was easier to do it this way because I had to make 70 of these cards. So. All right, so all of our pieces are stamped, and now we are ready to assemble them onto the front of the card. So before I put those pieces down, I'm gonna show you one of the fun dies that come in the So Refreshing dies, and it's this little picnic blanket. So I've already run this through my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine using Coastal Cabana cardstock, and when you can see there's texture on here, so after you die cut it, you'll have this really fun blanket with a little fringe. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back, and I'm going to put this on the bottom of our base here. Okay, next we're gonna mount the picture. So I'm gonna put a little bit of glue at the bottom, but I'm also gonna put a dimensional on here as well, up here at the top. And then this is gonna sit over here on the edge like this. So I want it to go right on the edge so that the top of the picture comes right underneath the words together, okay? And just make sure it's straight. Then we're gonna add our lemonade next. So we're gonna take this cup here and we wanna tuck this one kind of underneath the blanket. So I'm gonna work quick so that it doesn't dry. And I'm gonna just tuck that under the blanket and put it right there. And then for the second cup, I wanna lift that one up. So I'm gonna put a dimensional behind that one. And then this one, I'm gonna tuck this under the blanket as well, but I need to trim it a little tiny bit. So I'm just gonna cut off the bottom and then we're gonna tuck that underneath there and just put it slightly lower than the other one. All right, next we're gonna add the flowers. So I'll put some adhesive on the back here. And we're gonna put the flowers over here like so. All right, now we wanna add some leaves to the lemon. Now, if you look at the stamp set, there is a outline stamp and there is the solid stamp. So we could two-step stamp leaves and then we could take this die here and we could die cut them out. But there's also another leaf in here. I believe you can also use it for the top of the strawberry image because you don't see any strawberries here, right? But in the die set, there actually are some little strawberries as well as this die here that you can die cut so that you can make a strawberry lemonade as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this little topper, this little leaf that does 3 leaves, and I'm just gonna die cut 2 of them. And then I'm gonna add those to the top of the lemon. So when you die cut them out, here's my little piece here. I die cut them and you can see that they're really cute because they have texture to them. Let me put the lemons down first. So I'm gonna add those on with a dimensional. And I want the lemons to be right over here on the blanket on top of by the picture. And then once I have the lemons in place, I'll just turn this over, add a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. You could also use a glue dot, and I'm gonna put a leaf that way and a leaf this way. Okay, all right. So the last thing that we're gonna do to this design is we're gonna add some sparkle. Gotta add some sparkle. I have my iridescent rhinestone jewels, and so I'm gonna add 3 of these. So using my take your pick tool, I'm gonna pick up a large one. I'm gonna place it right here. I'm gonna pick up a small one, and I'm gonna place it at an angle right here. And then I'm gonna pick up a medium one, and I'm gonna put it in the center of the flower right there, okay? And then I'm gonna turn this over. I'm gonna add dimensionals to the back. Then I'll take out my card. I will turn this around and I will center this right there. There you go today. A special thanks to those of you who participated in our Spirit of Giving Stamp Camp, which was a fundraiser for the Make Lemonade project. And I'm so grateful to all of you who made a donation so that you could get one of our special cookie and card collaborations and help us make a difference for the Make Lemonade project. I hope you'll come back and stamp with me again real soon. I love spending this time with you. Until next time, aloha.